The Cleveland Browns locker room had always had an edge to it, gritty, blue-collar, a reflection of the city itself. The old-timers would say it hadn't changed in decades. Sure, the lockers were newer, the tech more advanced, but the essence was the same cold, unfiltered competition. That was until Shedeur Sanders walked in. He wasn't loud, not in the traditional sense, but everything about him spoke. The way he carried his shoulder pads, like a king holding a crown, the customized cleats, bronze with matte black tips. Even his playlists, a fusion of trap beats and smooth gospel chords, somehow made the Gatorade taste different in the air. He wasn't even QB1 yet. Deshaun Watson still held that title, at least officially, but the whispers were growing louder. They weren't malicious, not yet. Just curious. "Yo, you seen the way Shedeur was throwing in warm-ups today," said wide receiver Malik Curtis, drying sweat off his forehead. Laser beams. Like Mahomes, but with that D and cool, chimed in linebacker GOK, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. He makes the game look like a mixtape. It had started as a buzz, then it became a hum. Now, Shedeur's aura was cutting through the room like smoke in a spotlight, unavoidable, surrounding every conversation, every glance. It was week 5. The Browns were 2-2. Watson's performance had been a mixed bag. Flashes of brilliance lost in clouds of rust. The media hadn't yet turned fully, but the questions were becoming more pointed. And Shedeur? He was patient. Almost too patient. Each morning, he was the first in the locker room. Taping fingers, rewatching practice film. Not in a corner, either. Right there, in full view. He wanted them to see, not to flex. To show them, "I'm ready when you need me." And then came Wednesday. Deshaun tweaked his shoulder in practice. Nothing major, but enough to be held out. That Friday, the Browns' QB room was rearranged. Shedeur took the first team snaps. Game day. Browns versus Ravens Baltimore came in 4-0. Their defense was snarling, veteran-heavy, ranked number 2 in the league. The stadium roared, but the real theater was in the locker room 30 minutes before kickoff. Shedeur sat at his locker, tape wrapped around his wrists like a prizefighter. He wasn't speaking. He was breathing, slow, steady, controlled. Across the room, players watched. It was one thing to have confidence, another to have presence. Linebacker Anthony Walker leaned toward Denzel Ward. "He don't blink." Not once, Ward nodded. He got that. Primetime DNA. Someone turned the music down. It wasn't official, but the team had decided. This was Shedeur's moment. First quarter, the Browns started the game on offense. First play, a slant route to Amari Cooper. Crisp, on time. Second play, play action, roll out, dot to David Njoku for 15. The drive stalled at midfield. Punt, but nobody missed the poise. Shedeur didn't curse, didn't slam his helmet. He sat, listened, nodded. By the second quarter, the offense found rhythm. He called an audible at the line, his first real flex. Saw the Ravens stacking the box. Changed the play. Quick out. Donovan Peoples-Jones, 34 yards. The drive ended with a quarterback sneak at the 2-yard line. He punched it in himself. As he jogged back to the sideline, he didn't celebrate wildly. Just a calm, controlled head nod, like, "I told you I'm here." The sideline exploded. Watson, headset on, clapped with a half smile. Proud, but something more. Threatened? Maybe. Halftime. Score tied 14-14. In the locker room, nobody sat near Shedeur. Not out of distance, but reverence. He sat upright, cleats untied, fingers laced like he was in prayer. Then he spoke. "Second half, they're gonna blitz more. They think I'm green," he said. Voice calm, but carrying. He looked at his O-line. "They over-pursue, so give me half a second more. I'll make 'em pay." No bravado, no yelling. But the room leaned in. Even the veterans listened. Something had shifted. Fourth quarter, 1:22 remaining, down 3. Browns ball at their own 20. The drive of a lifetime. Shedeur didn't flinch. Pass. Sideline. Out of bounds. First down. Run pass option. Quick release. Njoku again. 12 yards. Then 35 seconds left. 3rd and 8. Pressure up the middle. Shedeur spun left. Escaped. On the run, he saw Cooper in double coverage, but the safety had overcommitted. He let it fly. Perfect arc. Perfect timing. Touchdown. The stadium erupted. The sidelines swarmed him, but Shedeur simply walked off, helmet off, looking skyward.